Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So now, without further ado, a man that needs no introduction, and that's the way he wants it. Mayor of Redondo Beach, Steve Aspel.
I appreciate everybody being here. The room is packed. I think everybody in the room is aware that we made a change last year, and we had a closed session meeting, and we put Joe in charge by unanimous decision in closed session. He was made our interim city manager. But we had to do all our due diligence and make sure that the citizens and all the employees would know that we were really looking for the finest individual out there. So we had a search firm, Murray & Associates, and did an extensive search all around the country for city manager candidates. And this being Redondo Beach, a very desirable place to live and work, that we had quite a few applications of a lot of stellar people. So we had a citizens groups interview the candidates. We had our employees interview the candidates, and then the council did. And it took months and months and months, and it got to be a real pain in the neck. But the fact is, we proved to ourselves and in the community that we made the right choice, and Joe is the cream of the crop. And we're happy to have you, and I'm really, really happy to have Joe. He's a calming influence. The paper, the Beach Reporter, had an article the other day about he's from Kansas. He was a farm boy. He's letting me know he's been here since he was 21. But, you know, don't let his calm demeanor fool you, because he knows what he's doing, and the city is really going in the right direction with him. We're going to talk about GAB. How you like that? G, A, and B. You all know what that is. That is the Redondo measures we've suffered through the past 5 or 6 years. Anyway, we'll start out. Measure G was November of 2010, and you know, that at 46% of the voters came out that day to vote, and it won. That was incredible turnout of voters, and it won. And what that did, it made Measure G the law of the land. This is what it is in Redondo now. So, you know, what it made, the harbor, I'm going to actually make sure I follow notes so we don't mess this up. It's zoned largely now for commercial harbor timeshare development, and that's on this side of Harbor Drive at the AES site. You know, and then the harbor area was reduced from 1.6 million square feet that it was formerly zoned for. Okay, so it's been cut in half, our zoning there. So, you know, if people think that we're upzoning this thing and we're going to overbuild the harbor, it's not. It's about half of what it was zoned for before Measure G. And the yes vote did more than that. It also had a height limit down at our harbor. Look how tall that roller coaster used to be. Block somebody's view. It did in these tall buildings here. And there are tourists in town, so tourists are allowed to come to Redondo Beach. We like tourists here. But you know, Measure G actually put a height limit on all the properties to be built down here, and that'd be 45 feet. And also, there's no residential over here west of Harbor Drive. And you know, it actually was a great thing. You remember, that is the law of the land now. It did win. Then Measure A came about in 2013, and that one lost 52 to 48. And that just meant that, you know, they were going to try and zone the AES power plant out of existence just because it felt like it. And so the citizens were bright enough to know that you can't rezone a private property out of existence just by the stroke of a pen or voting it out. And then we come up to the infamous, a few weeks ago, Measure B. And you know, Measure B, I think all you know, that was going to be 85,000 square feet of retail, a 250-room hotel, and then up to 600 units, houses, lofts, and condos. But that went down, and that's the way that's okay. The voters have spoken, and we accept that and we move on. You know, and 29% of the citizens voted that day, which is not as good as when we had Measure G, but it also is better than like LA had. I don't even know what California does. But that's a good turnout by today's standards. But you know, the Measure B was a trial for our city. It was very controversial, and it was, you know, it was nasty. It pitted friends against friends and neighbors against neighbors, and it was almost like Measure O in Hermosa Beach, that, you know, people were fighting each other and arguing all the time. And it shouldn't be like that on local initiatives or politics. I think social media gets in the way of that a lot now. But speaking of Measure O in Hermosa, I wasn't kidding in the paper. We're not interested in drilling for oil on the AES site, okay? So if anybody thinks that could happen there, as long as I'm mayor, I don't see that happening. And if I'm no longer mayor, I'd be like God bless him, John Parsons, coming to every meeting complaining about I wouldn't allow him to do oil. So just remember that. But Measure B lost. We move on. And in my opinion, I'm going to get some more stuff here. We're going to live by the outcome of Measure G. And Michael alluded to that in his opening statements about the harbor is going to, you know, we're working towards that to revitalize this thing. So Measure G is what gives us the ability to do that. But I want to go back to the Measure B. Bill Brand and I did have a few backroom meetings, and we came up with some plans here. You know, you can't just be adversaries all the time when it comes to this area down here, because every council member, no matter what their opinion is doing it because they love the city. So you might have a different opinion, but we still have to work together. But Bill and I got together after Measure B and said, you know, we're going to start some kind of task force, and it would be, for right now, what is called the Mayor's Task Force, and but it won't be called that in the future. But it will be a Brown Act task force, which means we'll have a city clerk there and city staff taking minutes. There'll have to be a quorum to have this task force. It can't just be a bunch of people in the library gabbing away. We're going to have 25 to 30 people that will be from all walks and all views. You'll have people who want to build Miami Beach down here, and you'll have people that want to have a park. And you're going to put people in a room that pretty much don't like each other, and we're going to have them get along. But the last thing this city needs is another controversial election. It just tears apart people in this room and your neighbors and things like that. But we're going to have this task force, but it will not work unless we have at least we have AES and the other stakeholders around here in the room. But and the facilitator would probably, or would give them the authority, the power to make changes on this task force if somebody's disruptive or they're just a total knucklehead, okay? So people will have to learn to get along. But the council will have, each member can appoint 2 people, and I'll be able to appoint 2 people. They have to be citizens of Redondo Beach, but they can live anywhere. Anyway, I want to talk about AES for a quick second. I want Eric Pendergraft to stand and take a bow. This guy's a stand up. Eric came to town about 10 years ago, and he came here, I think you grew up in Santa Rosa, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, and he went to UCSB, and Mike Webb went to UCSB and became a lawyer, and Eric went to UCSB and became an engineer. But that's the key. He's an engineer and not a lawyer or not a politician. And he got thrown into this political arena about 10 years ago, right? And, but and he's worked on everything in this city with the citizens for the past 10 years. And I got to say, over this time, you know, we've gone toe-to-toe on battles for things, and now we're on the same team on this Measure B. But I've come to know this guy, respect him, and I consider him a friend, so I want to make sure you guys know that Eric Pendergraft is a friend of Redondo Beach. So I want that out in the public. But I did talk to Eric yesterday. We said, I need some kind of meat for this meeting. So AES, after the loss of Measure B, they have decided to, they're going to, and I'll make sure I get this straight, they're going to reapply for a new power plant. They're going to, along with a 300 megawatt battery storage facility, and they're going to evaluate a desal plant on that property. And it's their right to. The opposition to Measure A stated many times that there will be no power plant rebuilt there no matter how you vote. Win or lose, there will never be a power plant. So with that said, when AES does reapply, we are not going to spend $250,000 to $500,000 to hire outside lawyers to be interveners at the table with all these commissions, because it's just not necessary, and that we can't waste that kind of money. So I hope the city council holds true to that and doesn't throw our money down the drain. This hotel across the street, the Shade Hotel, it's finally moving its way up, okay? Yeah, it's a little bit behind schedule. I will never make a promise anymore about a date, but I'm hoping, I will promise you that that hotel will be up and running in a vibrant place by the next year's state of the city. And, but you know, he hit oil, not from Hermosa, but he's hit oil underneath there. He hit old cars, old rebar. As Pat Oss was telling us before, and Pat could tell you most things about this city, that it was, you know, there were just things buried down there. They're going to find Jimmy Hoffa there someday, I think. And then across the street, we have the new Redondo Hotel. That's incredible. I think that was $15 million they invested, and that's not your mom's Best Western anymore. That's a fine hotel. So that is incredible for our city. And check out, well, you've already seen this Crowne Plaza here, but they are putting all the money into renovating this. We're making a world-class destination resort city here, and these hotels are filled. And in North Redondo, we have the Marine Street hotels, Marine Avenue. Okay, you have the Residence Inn, and that's 172 rooms, and the Hilton Garden Inn is 147. And the third hotel, which will be a Homewood Suites, is 184 rooms, and that's in the design right now, and it'll be up and running in a few years. But when these are all done and all the obligations are paid for, the city will realize about $2 million a year in TOT, transit occupancy tax. When you came in here today, did you notice that big empty parking lot across the street? So, you know, if there's no cars, there's no traffic, but there's no traffic, there's no business, and there's no people, there's no vibrancy, there's no reason to come down here. So CenterCal is going to put $300 to $400 million revitalization into this area here. It's going to have offices, restaurants, a hotel, places to, you know, fountains and plazas, bike lanes, a lot of places to walk, hang out with your friends. The music will be going the beat like the Bellagio Hotel. And what it does, and it's really, I've seen they're up in near Salt Lake, I forget the name of the town, but it's incredible what they can do. But this thing here, and it's right now going through an EIR process at no cost to the city. And that draft EIR, Environmental Impact Report, will be for public review next fall, and then it'll be for consideration with the City Council about the spring of 2016. Remember, the speed of democracy, nothing goes very quickly. And we're trying to keep the citizens all informed too. But this is a significant reinvestment in our pier that the city cannot do this. You know, that the pier parking structure is going to fail soon. And our attorneys don't like me saying that, but it's had its useful lifetime. The International Boardwalk, we have restaurants and other businesses clamoring to get in there, but they don't, you know, but it's sinking. It's not sinking, I guess the ocean's rising, depending on who you believe. But, you know, it does get flooded out, so that has to be repaired. The city does not have the funding for that. And Center Cal is ultimately going to be able to take care of this, because that's $50 to $100 million of money that they're going to invest that you, the citizens, and we don't have to pay for, because there simply isn't the money. You have to charge like $40 to be like Dodger Stadium to come to our, you have to pay $40 to park, and no one's going to do that. So Center Cal is going to rehabilitate our waterfront, add some marvelous places down there. And by the way, the Seaside Lagoon, it might have been on the slide there, that'll be open year round. Okay, it might become a sea lion rookery, but it'll be open year round. So we'll have to work on that, John Paul. But a few weeks ago, about a year ago, Councilmember San Marco asked for a independent analysis of the Center Cal project. And it took a while to get, and we finally got it. The first one, some people didn't claimed it wasn't good enough because the person that did that actually shook Fred Bruning's hand in grammar school, so they had a connection. So we found somebody that never ever met Center Cal or anybody at Center Cal. In fact, the guy that did this, turns out, went to high school and grew up surfing with Bill Brand. So it was, Bill will give him a thumbs up that it was totally independent. But what they did was confirm our vision and your vision. It was a better report than we even anticipated. They did specifically say this is not a mall down here. It's not a mall. Yeah, give them a thumbs up. They said it's going to attract local people and people who live up to 5 or 10 miles away. It'll also attract people that want to fly into all these wonderful hotels, and you know, it'll be wonderful, and it will substantially add to the income of our city, because the employees have worked their asses off for our city, and we have, yes, someone give them an applause. But I'm happy to report that every one of the labor groups finally has signed a MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, and we're in agreement on our, oh, isn't that cute, Brad Lindahl, Mike Wazansky, that, you know, they took severe wage concessions over the past 5, 6, 7 years. And we, because of city management, staff, Joe Hefkin, our accounting, you know, just everybody in the city, and the council, they found the funds, and, you know, obviously made more money was coming into the city. We worked out gave them back their concessions and a modest, the employees here, it was a modest wage increase, not saying it was rocking the world thing. And we gave them all a stipend. And I didn't give it to them. They earned the stipend as a one-time stipend for everybody. No matter what your pay scale in the city was, everybody got an equal amount. And I'm hoping the employees appreciate that, because it kind of made us fun to do this, because usually we're kind of turning our head down when it came to the employees and going, oh, they're mad at us. But I think everybody's happy now, but for the time being. But the problem is, it's not a problem, they're our greatest asset. And you know, everything you do, and they call me the pothole guy, everything in this city revolves around your city services. And from the guys that fix potholes, trim our trees and stuff like that, to the police and fire. In fact, they had a little thing the other night, was guess somebody burglarized what was it, cops yelling? The Radio Shack. So I guess the bad guys went and you caught them in our police yard where you parked the cars. They weren't very bright guys, I don't think. So, you know, I guess, Joe, we better put a fence around that police yard sooner or later with wire. But basically, our employees were labor peace. It's fun to go to City Hall. It always was fun when you go to City Hall as elected. People are so friendly. They're always high-fiving and talking to you. I always steal Claudia's candy from the city attorney's office, but that's what makes it a kick to be a mayor, is to go to City Hall. Now I'm going to move on to one of our. There we go. I love Redondo. There we go. We have that sign. We're going to use that sign in a little while. We'll move on. This man, Jim Allen, he's back there in the corner. Okay. Jim, I'm certain Jim is not comfortable being in the spotlight now, because he's just a hell of a guy. He is our harbor facilities manager, and he actually, I think everybody in this room knows, he contracted, I don't know if he contracted or what, he's got ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, okay, which is a devastating illness. And I'm not going to read all this. Everybody knows what it does, pretty much. It's just devastating to you or to your family. I'm probably embarrassing him now, but anyway, that's what we're trying to do, help this man out. He's a 25-year public servant that's been working for the city, and there he is, man. That's the man. Good news. Redondo Street Harbor Drive Gateway Improvement Project. And obviously it starts at Redondo, at Hermosa border. It's going to end up down here. It's going to have a wonderful, look at that picture right there. It's great. They almost killed me on that, the public works guys did. It's going to be coming down here, as you know. It comes through lot 13. The chart house building is what I call it. That wall is coming down, or it's down, and it's going to be a wonderful entryway into our city. So the people that are riding down the bike path or jogging or whatever they do will be continuing on to Redondo to shop and spend their money instead of turning around and going back to Hermosa Beach or Manhattan. But it should be done, like Michael said, it should be done by Memorial Day, but I always say should be now instead of it will be. But this is being paid for with several funds, and I'll read them off: the state gas tax, our Proposition C money, Measure R local return, and solid waste road impact fees. And we also received a grant from the bicycle transportation account. Right there, Jim? Jim Hannon here, big wheel on that. And this thing is costing, there you go. This whole project is $4.7 million. So that's the cost of doing business here, but that's going to be beautiful. You're going to notice the reverse angle parking. You'll be backing into your parking spot, which is, I know, I see the police going, I don't know. It's supposed to be safer for pedestrians and bicyclists. We'll see, but everybody in the world, see, I'm not an expert on this, so it's supposed to be safer. Let's see what happens. Just be careful. I don't back up very well, but that's what it is. The city of Redondo Beach is now a blue zone city since November of 2013. They even had, we got the city to pass no smoking on the beach or the parks. And as of now, you'll see a picture pretty soon coming up of Councilmember Ginsburg and myself smoking a cigar at HT Grill. And that's not going to happen anymore. Not that I quit cigars, but Paul Hennessy did ban them at HT Grill now. So yeah, it's yay. I said it was a good idea. Pam and I thought it was a good idea. Anyway, the Beach Cities Health District is it's the largest agency of its kind in the country. And we're very happy they are here in Redondo Beach, but representing 3 cities, correct? Those other 2, and us, okay. Okay, I'm gonna move on the Special Olympics are coming to town. How's that? Okay? I was a 20-year plus volunteer. This is gonna be a big deal. I'm not gonna go through the whole report. It'll be here in July. We're having a parade on the pier with these athletes. There'll be 100 athletes from Haiti, Benin, and Suriname. And we're going to host them. This hotel is going to host some of them, and a couple other hotels around here are. So if you want to get involved, contact myself or Jeff. But there will be a parade, there'll be a party at the lagoon, and there will be a major send-off for all the local cities at the Performing Arts Center, where the parking is free, not like in Manhattan Beach or Hermosa Beach. Okay. So anyway, we have The group called Feed the Kitty, that's just their band name. It's Jed Motley on bass and Jack Maher singing and playing lead guitar. And they're going to sing a rewritten version of I Love LA. Now, it does take a little audience participation sometimes when we go, I love it. We want to see if you love it. Okay, so they're going to come up here, and we hope that you enjoy this. I'm going to move over.
Steve loves being mayor, well, most of the time, 'cause the people are so friendly. No more complaining, 'cause we got it so good. This town's so pretty for you and me, babe. Rolling down Pacific Coast Highway with a sweet, lovely blonde by my side. Sweet ocean winds blowing from the north, and they were born to ride. Roll down the window, put down the top. Oh, check out King Harbor, baby, don't let the music stop. We're gonna ride it till we can't ride it no more. From the north side to the south side, Galleria to the village, everybody's very happy, 'cause the sun is shining all the time. Looks like another perfect day. Redondo Beach, we love it. Redondo Beach, we love it. We love it. Look at the ocean, look at those trees, look at those cops over there, baby, keeping us safe and free. Look at these workers, there ain't nothing like them nowhere. Artesia Boulevard, we love it. Catalina Boulevard, we love it. Harbor Boulevard, we love it. The Esplanade, we love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Woo! Redondo Beach, we love it. Redondo Beach, we love it. Redondo Beach, we love it.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, man. These guys can play, can't they? This is Jack, that's Jed. But we wanted to give a Business of the Year award out from the city of Redondo Beach and the mayor, not just from the Chamber of Commerce. And I think it's important that this is basically a business breakfast, that the businesses are recognized in Redondo Beach, and we value every one of them. But there was one that stands out in my mind that is an incredible business, and it's called Wedgwood. They're a South Bay company. They moved to Redondo Beach, I believe, from El Segundo about 1.5 years ago. They're up on Manhattan Beach Boulevard, right near the Galleria, right near the Performing Arts Center. And I got to meet them last year when David asked me to come up and do a tour of their building. They started this business in a garage. Check out that artwork. And in a garage in Manhattan Beach, which has probably got an elevator in it, but it's still a garage. So, but they're it's grown into a diversified, vertically integrated company, expanding its business footprint to include residential rehabilitation, non-performing loans, property management, private lending, brokerage, escrow, and more. They generate in excess of $800 million a year in annual revenue and have 250 happy employees, because I've been there. They are incredible. Look at the layout they have. This is not closed-in offices. And it's a state-of-the-art headquarters in Redondo Beach. And it's where it's located, easy access to public transportation. And this company doesn't just make money and put it in their pocket. They help give it away. They give it away and help local charities. But if you, for those of you that are concerned about the blue zones and going green, check out those solar cells on their parking lot. This isn't something that bonds paid for. They paid for it. They did it themselves on their own. The Mayor's Business of the Year Award 2015 presented to Wedgwood in recognition of your outstanding business leadership, partnerships, and philanthropy, making your organization a business choice in Redondo Beach. And it's from myself and the City Council, and it's for you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So, it's not the size of the plaque, it's the fact that they earned it. This year's Lifetime Community Service Awardee has long been a driving force to be reckoned with. Active, proud of the city, and willing to give of oneself for the benefit of all. The person is a Redondo native who also graduated from Redondo Union High School many years ago. He's been a chief, a chair, a community leader, a collector, a creator, a curator of the Morale House, a city council member, and a classic car collector. See, I'm better if I just ad-lib. I don't have to read it. He's his own man, and he makes no apologies to anyone, and we love him for that. So if you haven't guessed yet, my good friend, the Chief, right here, Pat Oss. Come on up here. And he deserves it. All right, bro. Good man. He deserves every minute of that standing ovation. In recognition of a lifetime spent in Redondo Beach, your work as a driving force in our city, steering the fire department, city council, and other civic organizations to success, and keeping the history of Redondo Beach alive will be your limitless passion and I can't read it. You can do that later. Oh, alive with your limitless passion and banter. You're truly a model A, B, and C citizen of Redondo Beach from me. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Move over here.
We really love this city. This is our city, so thank you very much.
And give him a hand. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate it. I was checking out, no one was doing their cell phone, so it was good. Thank you.
Now, before we step down, on behalf of the Redondo Beach Chamber of Commerce, just a little memento.
I perceive value. Okay.
Great job.
Thank you. Appreciate
Right
it.
on.